Hello, everyone. Thank you all for being here this evening. This is Pinkie, the housewife. Thank you all for being here. I know I'm running a little behind. I was trying to eat, uh, uh, make sure I got some food in my stomach. Yeah. Okay. I was just trying to eat, guys. That's all. But thank you all for being here. I'm glad to see everybody here. Um, Let me just go over the house rules before we get started. And then make sure I give everybody hugs, hugs through the internet. Okay? All right. Welcome to the Pink House. And make sure y'all hit that like button because I need it. I need it. All the likes I can get. And thank you for subscribing to the channel. Come on in, sweetie. Thank you all for subscribing to the channel and let me know. Here, you can go ahead. I can't see. Uh, Thank you all for subscribing to the channel. We're just trying to get my phone charger uh, in here because my other one, we don't know what happened to my other one, do we? We don't know. That thing just, yesterday I had my phone on it and all of a sudden I looked at it, it had 1%. Thank you, sweetie. It had 1% left on it. Oh, and it's been sitting on the charger because I have a charger that I keep in my studio here, but also one by my bed, plugged up by my bed. Oh shit! Ooh, that hurt. In there, and the one in here, I had my phone plug sitting on the thing for the whole time, and it only had 1% on it. I said, "How did that happen?" Don't ask me. Okay, but anyway, thank you all for being here. Uh, Let me see. Let me put out this graphic warning content because I don't know what's gonna happen or when, or what you may see or hear. All right, because not everybody ears can take it. Not everybody ears can take it. All right. So that's that trigger warning for you. All right. Now let me see. We are going to be talking about Sean Diddy Combs, the Diddler. Okay, I always tell y'all I got that name, the Diddler, from Nancy Grace. I heard her say the Diddler, and for some reason it stuck to me too, and it's hard for me not to say the Diddler. But anyway, he was his his trial, he was charged with racketeering, conspiracy, sex, trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Okay. So, that being said, and let me see who are we. Oh, that being said, let me just say this. The United States versus Sean Diddy Combs, okay, aka Diddy, okay, and we're down on the second row now. Where I say closing arguments. They did that this Friday. Yes, they did. Now, hopefully by Monday morning, the jury will get the charges so that way they will be able to deliberate. Deliberation day. Okay. And then hopefully by Tuesday, or maybe by Monday, maybe they may have their mind made up. The minute they get the charges, they may say, "Oh no, we know what we're gonna do." Bam! They come back out within an hour, a couple hours, and say, "We ain't going home with this on Tuesday, so here it is. We got a verdict here. It may not go to Tuesday. Most people think we're going to get a verdict on Tuesday, but we may get one on Friday. You never can tell when we're going to get one, right? So that's all I got to say. You never can tell. Let me see who all we got in the house today. Uh, Let me see. We got Black Titanic. Oh my. Oh my. This is Black Titanic's new channel that she's showing. Oma at Officially Black Titanic. Diddy got a uphill battle, but the DV, which is the domestic violence case, is not there. Not here. Not here. Okay. That's her new channel, guys. Y'all better go over. Black Titanic is a content creator, so y'all need to go over there, okay, and do what you do. Y'all know what you do, okay? Nice thumb up. Y'all make sure y'all hit that thumbs up, okay? Hit that thumbs up button, okay? Diddy twins can't stand him. It's the reason they stayed away from the trial. They're on their mom's side, but the aunts have forced them to look like they're supporting their dad, allegedly. Well, you know, they did, once they came the first time during the trial, they had came the very first time. And when they started hearing the testimony from Cassie, them girls left and never came back. They left. They didn't wait till the trial was over that day. They left in the beginning of the trial. They just had to get up and leave. The three of them, the twins and the middle girl. I mean, the older girl. Yeah, they got up and left, and they haven't been back until this week. They came back, was it not yesterday? I think they came back on Thursday. Was it Thursday they came back, or was it just yesterday? No, they came back on Thursday. They came back on Thursday and Friday. Yeah. Justice for all the women who have been abused by the Diddler, including his wife, Miss Porter, allegedly. Yeah. Yeah. She was abused. Yeah. And she knew too much. And she was writing her book. And once he didn't want that book out, because I hadn't heard stuff that's supposed to be in that book. Ooh, Lord. That book talk about satanic worship and everything. And talked about how when she was pregnant, or all the women, that when you get pregnant by allegedly one of them, you got to, right before your child is born, you have to have XCX with the rest of them at that level like him. And she didn't want to do it. And he told her, you know, you got to do it. And she wanted to know, since you are Sean Diddy Combs at this level, why do she have to do it? You can just say she's not going to do it. But yeah, but she had to do it. Because he said, you know, you got to do it. While she was right before she gave birth. The other, she have to have sex. Oh, did I say that? XCX with all the men. I'm so sorry about that. Hi, Miss D6218. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Oh, did I say that? Y'all have to excuse me if I said that word, SCX. I didn't mean to say that. I always spell it out. I don't say it. Y'all know that. Okay, so just, you know what I said? Forgive me. Okay? Oh, Lord, I bet y'all said, Pinkie, Pinkie, Pinkie. Okay. Thank you for being here, Miss D. All right. Oh my God. All right. We're going to go ahead and get on with the matter at hand. This is a real tricky thing. And so we're going to get on because on Friday, y'all know who the deliberations. Let's talk about Thursday first. Well, all week, but Thursday, the prosecution rested their case, right? And we thought the defense was going to rest theirs, right? Defense said, what case? No, I'm just kidding. But the defense didn't have nothing to rest. I don't even think they talked 30 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. I'm just giving them 30 minutes, right? And Diddy didn't have no friends for them to call. The Diddler, not one friend at all. Diddy, where are your friends? Not one employee. All them employees at that company, all them companies that you work at, that you own, not one employee that can say something nice about you. Bless your heart, Miss Pinkie and BT. Prayers up. Thank you. Not one person, not one living soul. What all them bodyguards? Do you mean they can't say nothing good about you and they've been around you every day? Y'all make sure my audio is good. Let me know whether y'all can hear me, and let me know whether I sound like I'm in a well or I sound like I'm supposed to sound. I forgot to have the audio check. Hi, Terry. Hi, Pinkie in chat. I hit the like button. I know you did. Thank you, Terry. Y'all need to follow Terry. Terry, I always hit that like button. I like your makeup. I don't have no makeup. I don't have no makeup on. See, this is no makeup. Well, I wish I did. See here. Let me show you. See there, no makeup. No, this is lip gloss. That's why it's natural. Thank you. That's why it's so natural, because this is lip gloss. It's a lip gloss I got on. Let me show you. This is a lip gloss. It looks like it's colorful, but it's a lip gloss. This is it, a lip gloss. This is a lip gloss by, can y'all see that? Fenty. It's a lip gloss. But I don't have nothing on my face. Yeah. Thank you, though. Miss Black Titanic, I just subscribed to your new channel. BT. She just subscribed to your new channel. Terry, thank you for letting me know you can hear me. Wow, your skin is beautiful. Thank you. This is just, yeah. I just got through eating, and my daughter helped me to put the sweat top on. Because, ever since I fell over that fence, it's hard for me to do things again. I'm serious. She helped me to put my sweat top on. And then the t-shirt, I got up under it. See here, I got a t-shirt up under it. She helped me to put this here on up under it. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard doing these things. Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you. But anyway, yeah. My daughter helped me to get dressed. Oh, yes, she did. She helped me to get dressed. Okay. But anyway, that lipstick make my skin pop. Thank you. Thank you. I bought, my daughter took me out one day. We was out shopping. Okay. And I got two, because it was the three of us, my daughter and my son. We was out shopping, and she goes to Sephora, whatever that store called. But anyway, we was out shopping, and she saw, I walked up to this with my son, and I just looked at it. When things grab me, I just grab it, right? And I told my son, I like that. Find that for me on the shelf. And he found it. And I saw another one. I said, I like this one here too. Give me that one. And then when I got it home, and I was using it. I've been using it for over a month now, right? And then my daughter, just about a week or so ago, came to me and I told, and she ordered her 3 more after she ordered some, right? And then I told her, order me 2 more. And she said, which ones? I said, surprise me. And she ordered me, this is hot chocolate. This is hot chocolate here. Yeah. So she ordered me that one and another one. I haven't ordered the other one yet. Yeah. But y'all got to get it if you like it. Just, it's a lip gloss. It's really a lip gloss. And that's why I like it, because it's not real thick on your mouth. You can still see your lips through it, you know. But anyway, let's move on. Okay. I want to show you all this here. I want to show you all this. This is TikTok, right? Y'all know I've been loving myself some TikTok. Yes, I have. And I'm only carrying this on one channel today. Okay, that's TikTok. Okay, here we go.
The defense is leaving a lot of room.
And guys, put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear this. Okay, I just want to make sure everybody can hear this. All right, this is TikTok. We're talking. We're gearing up to talk about everything from last week. Anything that happened last week, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Now, if anybody want to come up, let me just drop my link too, because anybody can come up whenever they get ready. You ain't got to wait a special time. If anybody want to come up, y'all are welcome. Because today is the day we talking about it. We're trying to make this make sense. We're trying to make sure that justice get done, right? There's my link. Like I said, anybody can come up. You can say 1 word or 2 words. You can just say a sentence if you want, or if you just want to speak and say, Pinkie, I'm going to speak and get down. You can. If you want to stay up here for a few minutes, you can. You can stay as long as you want. You can drop down when you just let me know. Pinkie, I just got something to say, and then I'm going to get down out of your hair. That's all. Okay, but thank you, Terry, for letting me know you can hear this. Here we go. Let me make sure I get to
the defense is leaving a lot of room for doubt. Mark Agnifilo is giving the summations for the defense, and unlike the prosecution, which stayed at the lectern, he's moving around. He's looking at the jurors. He's going back and forth as he's making his arguments. First, by starting off saying that this case is the tale of 2 trials. He said one is based in evidence, and that is what he wants to talk about. But he said what's coming from the mouths of prosecutors is very different. He said that the statute is very complicated, a RICO case, that this is about drug use and threesomes. He said Sean Combs has been something very hard to become. He is a self-made, successful Black entrepreneur. I mean, within 5 to 10 minutes of the opening or closing arguments from Agnifilo, I can tell the jurors were paying very close attention. And because he was walking back and forth, you can see them following him as he's making his arguments for the defense side. He went on to say that DEI, he said he was doing this in 1993, referring to Combs as a 23-year-old, not because the government told him to, but that is who he is. When it came to talking about racketeering conspiracy, Mark Agnifilo said, "Are you kidding me? You didn't hear one witness say that they were a part of that." He also wanted the jurors to look over at Combs's family and said, notice that 6 of his 7 children and his mother are here. He said that's because they care about him and he takes care of people. That's what he does. Then went on to talk about Jane, one of Combs's former girlfriends, and said that she testified about coercion, but yet he said she lives in a beautiful house that she deserves. And we know from testimony that Combs is still paying for that house. And then he says to the jurors, is that coercion? And then he sort of poked fun, if you will, at the Homeland Security raiding the homes of Combs last year and said emphatically, Astroglide taken off the streets. I feel better already. Streets of America are safe. And they find baby oil. Thank God for the special agents. Throughout, he's asking the jurors questions. He even said, where is the crime? The personal bedroom? So he's laying out that this is a personal matter. As he said at the beginning, he said that this was about drugs and threesomes. Here are the elements of racketeering conspiracy: drug distribution, arson, kidnapping, bribery, sex trafficking, interstate transportation, forced labor, witness tampering, and obstruction. So those are the elements within racketeering conspiracy that the defense right now is saying you cannot find him guilty of these, and here's why. Remember, if the jury finds that two of those things can be proven, two of those elements, then they would have to find Combs guilty of racketeering conspiracy, which he could spend up to life in prison if convicted on that one charge alone. But remember, he's also looking at sex trafficking and transportation for the purpose of prostitution as well.
Okay. Whoo! Y'all heard that, right? See, I'm trying to give you everything from this week, okay? What we had to struggle through this week to listen to. We had a lot to listen to this week. We had to struggle this week because some of that stuff was too much. It was even too much for me. But y'all know, I'm gonna hang in there. I'm not gonna let that dirty Diddy get me down. I'm not gonna let all his dirty deeds keep me. No, like that. Oh no, I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get out. I break a loose. Oh Lord. Let me see. Let me see. Miss Black Cat BT, I love your Black history. Thank you for letting me know. That is so sweet, Terry. She looks like Jada Pinkett. That lady? Yeah. Like number 14. All right, thank you. Carton, thank you for being here tonight. Carton, you know we all got to talk about how we feel tonight. Because last week, everybody, you and Sweetie, everybody that just came in, and Terry, last week was a lot for anybody to take. Okay? So we got to get our feelings out because we got to get ready for next week. We got to get ready for next week. When I say ready for next week's is deliberation. The jury's they're going to get the information and then they got to deliberate on that. And it may take them 1 day to deliberate, 2 days, or whole. I doubt if they go past the 4th of July. You know why? Because they ain't going to be ready. I doubt if they even go the day before the 4th. You know why? Some people trying to get out of here. They're trying to go places. Some people got families they want to see. Some people got to go out of town. They ain't got time to be fooling with Diddy. You see what I'm saying? They ain't got time for that. Carton saying hello to everybody. They ain't got time for that mess. They ain't got time for it. They're trying to go. So Monday is, let me see what date is Monday. Where's on my calendar? I can pull it up on my computer, but I keep my calendar right here in front of me. And don't y'all get upset because I said I keep my calendar right here. Okay? Now, Monday is the 30th. Okay? And then this Friday is July 4th. But so Monday or Tuesday, get ready. One of those days is going to pop off. Everybody going to be popping off. That's why you see in front of the courthouse every day. You see, not every day. Since the last 2 days, it's been getting crazy. Yesterday, it was like a madhouse. They had to open up more second rooms. You got the main courtroom, and then you got the overflow rooms. They had to open up more overflow rooms because more of the public, YouTubers, bloggers, news media, everybody wanted to be able to be inside the courthouse. You know what I'm saying? So they had to open up more doors and rooms for people to go in and listen. And you know, in the overflow room, you don't get the view that you get in the courtroom. You see what I'm saying? So this is getting crazy outside. And by Monday, if you are anybody that's been down there or haven't been yet, you better get up early in the morning. Just get up and go. Don't be waiting till no daylight. You better get up, put them shoes and clothes on, and have your stuff and your gear and your camera and just get down there. If you can, go ahead and pay somebody to stand in line for you. I would have that arranged day or 2 days before. Get somebody that's gonna do it and gonna do it right. Stand in line no matter what. And if it's raining, take your umbrella. But you stand in line for you. And on a rainy day, I make sure you get extra on a rainy day. I wouldn't be playing with nobody. But I congratulate all the content creators and bloggers and everybody for being there, along with the news media, because you know that's their job. They're going to be there anyway. But I congratulate everybody that's down there covering the story and everything. You know. But let me go ahead and show you all this. Y'all got to see this. Y'all got to see this, okay? But like I said, anybody can come up and speak your piece. You can come up and speak your piece and say, Pinkie, I just want to speak my piece and get myself down. You're welcome to do that. Because today is the day of speaking your piece. I'm not going to hold nobody back. But if you have not ever been up on my panel, let me just tell you, you do have to show yourself to me for the first time. Nobody else will see you but me. That means because you're in the green room. So when I say take down your avatar, that means nobody can see you but me. And then once you put it back up, then you be up on the panel then. Okay? So here we go. I want y'all to see this here. Because now, this is long, and I don't know how Piers Morgan is going to take me, but I just want to show some of this from Piers Morgan because this is just yesterday. Wait, let me just do something to this just so. Let me switch this up just a little because I don't want Piers Morgan to distract me. But Piers Morgan and I'm his friend. I'm his friend now. I've never been his friend, but I'm his friend now. Okay. This is from Piers Morgan yesterday. And it says, if Diddy walks, I'm target number one. If Diddy walks, I'm target number one. And who do you think is target number one? I want you all to put it in the chat. Who do you think, if Diddy walks, they're going to be target number one? And they're saying they may have to leave America. I'm not short until y'all give me an answer. I'm not that crazy. Somebody answer that question. Who do you think is target number one? That they may have to leave America. I'm just reading what I see. Okay? Until y'all answer it, it'll just stay sitting. But I'll play something else until y'all answer it because I have not seen it. But I really want to watch it myself. Because this is somebody y'all and everybody heard a lot from. This is somebody that did a lot of talking. This is somebody that everybody on social media know. Unless you just haven't been on social media. Unless you're not just hip to what's going on, well, you can be on social media, but not everybody is hip to the industry people in the industry, put it like that. Okay. Now I'm waiting on somebody to put it up. Until somebody put it up, Who do you all think is target number one? Until somebody put it up, I'm not going to drop that video. Okay? But I will be dropping another one and everything. But so let's go over the people that we think made a, let me go to it. Okay. Until somebody tell me who do they think is target number one if Diddy walks. Okay? Because I can always watch that video by myself. Okay? But let me just say this. On June 27th, which was yesterday, they did the closing arguments in Sean Diddy Combs trial, right? And this is coming from CNN. Let me pull this over this way so I can see it better. I wish I had my glasses in here. Oh my God. I get tired of, to the point. You don't believe this. I get tired of the fact that I can't see half of the stuff. I really wear glasses. Nobody knows that because you never see me with glasses on. But when I have my avatar up, a lot of times, y'all don't know, I got on some glasses. I don't have any in here right now. I wish I had them on. So I wouldn't have to get so close. But anyway, let's say, okay, let me say this. The jury deliberation set for next week. The jury will receive instructions from the judge and Sean Diddy Combs federal criminal trial on Monday. And that's on the 30th, guys. And then begin delibering, okay? The panel heard a closing argument from the defense and rebuttal from the prosecution on Friday. Now, what the defense said, Attorney Mark, okay, that's Diddy's, that was his original attorney. That was the attorney that was trying to get him out of the jailhouse 3 times from 3 different judges, and it failed. Yeah, that's who he is. Okay. I thought he was just sorry. Just my take on it. Not everybody thought he was sorry, but for some reason I did. I just thought the man was sorry. Let me do something right quick. I'm going to try to put this on. Oh, shoot. Is that me? Did I put it on? Oh. I never turn this TV on. And this is a brand new TV my husband had put up here a couple months ago for me. And I think I may have this thing on every blue moon. And he turned it on yesterday for me before, and then this morning I wake up, he got it on again. I guess he's trying to entice me to watch this TV. You see what I'm saying? I think that's what he's doing. Okay. And I'm trying to do something. Let me just do what I need to do right quick, because this is very important. This is very important here. Y'all are missing it. I want to see it, and since y'all don't care about seeing it, I'm going to put it on anyway. I ain't thinking about y'all. I'm going to put it on anyway. Okay. Just give me 1 second. I don't know what I'm doing because I don't ever use this TV. I don't bother with this TV. I really don't. I should have somebody come in here and do it for me. Well, I'll tell you what, let me put this on for us and then I'll work on this TV. How about that? That's what I'm going to do. Y'all wonder why I'm gotten so tall all of a sudden? Because I'm sitting on my knees. I'm sitting on my knees. Yeah, I'm sitting on my legs. If you stand up, you know how you got my feet up under me. That's why I'm gotten so tall. I grew over a second or two. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and put this on because I really want to see this. Okay, because this person says if Diddy walks, I'm target number one. That they may have to leave America. They didn't say may have to leave. They didn't say may or gonna. They said leaves America. And there's another word in there, which is his name, but I ain't gonna tell y'all that because I'm gonna put it on and let you see it yourself. Okay? Because I've been wanting to see this. I don't think I'm gonna play it all because I don't know where I don't know who. Okay. Let me see. Here it is right here, guys. I'm gonna this was just yesterday. Just yesterday. Okay? And I'm trying to keep y'all up to what's going on. Okay? That's what I'm trying to do. Y'all ready? If you're ready, let me know. And put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear this.
The prosecution delivered their fiery closing argument in the Sean Diddy Combs criminal trial, highlighting why these are episodes of sex trafficking, why the evidence proves Combs operated a criminal enterprise.
Diddy was coming under fire for trying to tamper with witnesses while he was arrested. There are several people who were initially named to be witnesses. They just magically disappeared. I'm aware of a lot of things taking place in back channels, people receiving a lot of payments to shut them up. Yeah, definitely. That's blood on my feet, on the ground. And the guy that's calling, screaming to call 911 is the person.
Wait now. Did I hear that? It's like sometimes, did I hear that? Thank you, Terry. Sometimes I ask, did I? And I know I heard it, but let me just see that again. Did I hear what he said?
Initially named to be witnesses, they just magically disappeared. I'm aware of a lot of things taking place in back channels, people receiving a lot of payments to shut them up. Yeah, definitely. That's blood on my feet, on the ground. And the guy that's calling, screaming to call 911 is the person who was on the other end of the gunfire. He came to kill me, but when he thought he was gonna die, he's begging for God. And due to the situation, the circumstances, I decided that it's probably best for me to live outside of the States at this point. Wow. Why? There are some adequate and imminent threats to me.
In the first week of Sean Diddy Combs' trial for sex...
Did y'all just hear that? That's what I'm talking about. Did y'all hear that? Big homie stating that he thinks it's best for him to live outside of the states, outside of America. Yes, sweetie, that's big homie. He lives in London. I don't blame him. Shoot. If Diddy walks, everybody that he's been hoping comfort, be his friend in the courtroom and to come there and support him and put money on his books and come see him and be a character witness, they may have to run. I'm serious. You know, because when you think about it, would have been a good witness for him. You know what I'm saying? A lot of more people would have been a good witness for him. All of his boys. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't saying much. Because, you know, I'm just saying. What about Mary J. Blige? Don't she hang with him through thick and thin? What about Urshan? Don't he hang with him through thick and thin too? You see what I'm saying? What about all them higher ups? I ain't calling their names though, because I like living. Don't they hang with them through thick and thin? Somebody just let him down. I don't know who. I don't know. I'm trying to get this thing up. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and let this big homie lives in London. Big homie, you better let everybody know. They better come on, start packing their bags and start moving right quick. They ain't got but how many more days? They got today is Saturday. They got Sunday. They got, because we ain't counting today. They can make this decision up today, but they got Sunday, they got Monday and Tuesday. Because we may know something by Monday or Tuesday. So you better, if you're going to leave, y'all better start packing up. All of his friends, y'all better start making the decision where you're going to go. Because I know you got passports. If you don't have a passport, you're just too late. Now, I'm not saying no counterfeit passport. I'm saying a real passport. And if you can't get yourself out of the country, just go to ICE and say, I don't belong in this country. You can expedite me, but this is where I want to go. You know what I mean? Just the facts. There is no way Diddy's legal team, what authority that underwhelming closing arguments, which failed to address the core legal allegations. It appears Diddy may have written it himself. I didn't think about that. Just the facts. That is a good thing. Because let me tell you this, what I think. I think Diddy has been running the show with the lawyers the entire time. Because these are high-powered attorneys. They acting like they just got just first time ever in a courtroom. They doing things that didn't make no sense to me. Diddy has been running this whole team himself. So when they get in the courtroom, they know you know how he run his employees? And they don't divert from what he said, because they know if you divert from what he said, you're a goner. He's been running this his entire time from behind the scenes. The writing was 6th grade level. Ooh, because I was trying to figure it out. Everybody was trying to figure out what? They didn't give a defense. Well, they did, but it was so short. I tried to give them credit by saying they did 30 minutes. I don't think it was 30 minutes. If it was over 30 minutes, their defense, somebody let me know. Because it didn't seem like it to me. Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but I could have sworn I was paying attention. I think Diddy was running the thing on. That's why he tried to get cocky with the judge and try to assert his narcissism in the courtroom by saying, Judge, you're doing a great job. Something similar to that. When the judge asked him whether he's going to testify or not, and he let the judge know it's his decision and his decision along with his lawyer. But he asked him, did he understand it? He said, yeah, yes. But then he trying to play court with the judge by telling the judge he doing a great job. You don't say no ish like that to a judge. He's doing this forever. He don't need you to tell him he's doing a great job. You tell somebody that just started the job. He's trying to run ish. He's trying to run ish. Diddy selfish. He never thought about his kids. And if he had thought about his kids, he would never have them girls in that courtroom first. You're right. Them girls, none of them should have been in that courtroom. Ain't nobody thinking about them boys because they just like him. But them girls should have never been in that courtroom. About his kids, and already the mom is gone and they may lose him. Mom don't need to take care of nobody's girls. Ooh, Lord, because she may have them girls, she may pimp them out. I wouldn't trust my girls around Miss Combs. Oh no, I won't. I like to see her walk in the courtroom every day though, because I always want to know what hairstyle, what wig she got on that day. And I always be rooting for Miss Combs, but I won't let her watch none of my kids. I know that for sure. Is gone and they may lose him. Diddy think he's in charge, but he can't overpower the judge in the jury. That is true. That's why he really think he's in charge of that courtroom. He really does for some reason. I think because he got control of the lawyers. He's telling them but you hire these high-powered attorneys that you paying millions and millions of dollars. Millions and millions of dollars for it. Because you got a team of 8. Okay? And you're trying to tell them what to do. You need to sit back and let them do their job. That's the first thing. And then never have them girls to come back in that courtroom. Okay? Because you're traumatizing them hearing that stuff. What you did to a female. Okay? But let me see. When Cassie's mom gave her testimony related to the $20,000 in extortion from Diddy, and his lawyer was going to give a rebuttal, Diddy waved them off. Oh my God. Here I am. Oh Lord. Waved them off. And that is when I knew he was running the show. Mm-hmm. You're right. Just the facts. I agree. I agree too. Diddy telling the judge he's doing one heck of a job may come to bite him in the, you know what, in the butt if he decides to appeal. Yes. Well, they're going to appeal anyway. That's why the attorneys, I believe they're going to appeal anyway, is because that's why his attorneys keep saying want a dismissal. Because they have to show, it have to be in the evidence that they did try to get a dismissal. They did request a dismissal. So when they do try to appeal this, they can show, they got evidence to show, well, we tried then because of this, and we tried because of this. You know what I mean? Okay. Let's go ahead and listen to Piers Morgan. But for Big Homie, ooh, my Lord, Big Homie, you better get out. You better tell them they better start running. They better start running. Omar said, allegedly, the twins said they feel embarrassed and they still grieving over their mom, Kim. Yeah, because they start hearing about what happened to them. Girls are smart. They got the Google machine too. And they can say, Google machine, let me Google what happened to my mom. And they hearing it. Mm-hmm. Let me see what Piers Morgan got to say.
Trafficking and racketeering. I spoke to his former bodyguard, Big Homie, who dropped a series of bombshell revelations about how he expected the trial to play out.
I expect to see a lot of strange things take place. I expect to see the defense team do a lot of steps to lighten the image of Combs. And we've been watching that take place. Somebody didn't want me to do this interview. I've had FBI come to my house before and tell me they found a threat against my life. I'm a person who believes that the Epstein's list is very similar to Diddy's list. I had sent in a video of the guy Combs walking around collecting everyone's cell phone before they get onto a yacht to go party.
Well, after 7 weeks of a trial that's rocked the entertainment world, the prosecution has now rested. The defense, meanwhile, started to wrap up their response in just 20 minutes with no witnesses called and without putting Diddy on the stand. So is Big Homie surprised by how the trial has played out? Does he think the verdict will be guilty or not guilty? And is he concerned for his own safety if Diddy was to walk free? Well, I can delightedly say that Big Homie is with me here in London in the main studio. Big Homie, welcome.
Hello, sir. Thank
You're
you for having
in
me.
the heart of Uncensored here.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure. It's an honor. I'm glad to be here.
Why are you here, first of all, in London?
Well, I have a lot of engagements, speaking events, a lot of podcasts. I'm really on a European tour right now.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And due to the situation and the circumstances, I decided that it's probably best for me to live outside of the States at this point.
Really?
Absolutely.
So you won't be going back?
No, sir.
For how long?
Indefinitely.
Really?
Absolutely.
You've emigrated, you've left?
Yes, I've left.
Wow. Why?
You right? Just
We've got some intel about certain things.
Just the facts. You wait. Let me see where you said that. Right here. Just the facts. You said Big Homie, and he lives in that Big Homie, and he lives in London. You was right. He lives outside now. Big Homie ain't crazy. Big Homie said he too smart for that. He too smart. He ain't putting his life in danger. I don't blame you, Big Homie.
And shout out to my brother Dugar and the rest of our team. There are some adequate and imminent threats to me. And, I made an agreement with my mother that at a certain age that I would eventually, try to settle down, have a family, and I wouldn't partake in violent acts and stuff like that anymore in the line of work. So, I always took my education seriously growing up, and my mom did a well job to make sure myself and my brother were cultured. So it's been a nice integration process for me. I'm living in London right now.
You think you'll set up home here?
Definitely.
Really?
Absolutely.
You feel safer here?
Definitely, I do. Absolutely, I do. I'm at the local Sainsbury's and people stopping me after our first interview. A lot of people tuned in.
Yeah, 3 million people watched that interview. It was huge.
Right, that's huge. That's huge.
Did you get a lot of reaction to it?
I got a huge, almost an overwhelming reaction. A lot of support. A lot of people were really interested to see you and I have a conversation.
Yes.
And a lot of people were pleased by it. So
I've got some reaction here. We took some comments off the Uncensored YouTube channel.
No doubt.
Eve Carr said, I've literally fallen in love with Big Homie. There's
Wow.
nothing more attractive than a man genuinely wanting to protect women and kids. I hope he stays safe.
Wow.
And then Gerald Slivka said, you, sir, have huge balls. He means you for doing this interview. Hats off to you. I applaud you for what you and your team are doing. I hope you and yours are well protected. And that IT said, Homie was very, very careful. You can tell he knows a lot. He just can't say it on air. I hope this guy is safe and continues to do what he does best. On that last point, are you careful? Have you been careful about what you say publicly?
Yeah, very, very, very careful how transparent I am, due to the fact that, there are still victims that I want to protect their identities. And I just feel like a proper gentleman should always be wary of his etiquette. And, I'm far from a slouch. I'm a formidable opponent for anyone, but no man is invincible. And Father Time is undefeated. I'm not 20, 21 years old anymore. It takes a longer time to recover from things. I've been shot, I've been stabbed, I've been poisoned, I've been, you name it. And, in order for a man to combat evil, sometimes he must be able to enact evil as well. And, violence is not my identity, just a toolbox a tool in my toolbox, I should say, because, you got to be wary of guys in positions of power who, if you spend a lot of money for a wedding and stuff like that on rings to court a lady, just to be urinating on her and sharing her with male sex workers and stuff like that, your moral compass is skewed in the
You
small.
mean like Diddy?
Y'all hear that? I agree wholeheartedly with Big Homie. You spend all this money on a woman, and she's supposed to be your woman. And then you paying men to urinate on her, to have XEX with her, and do all these foul things to her. That's a nasty person. That ain't a man at all. You can't call that a man. If y'all call that a man, I don't know. I won't call that a man. That ain't a man, guys. I don't know what y'all want to call him, but he ain't no man to me. If he's doing that and having people to do all that to that woman, he ain't a man. I don't know what you want to call him. You can call him anything but a man. You can call him a demon. You can call him a devil. But he is not a man. I would never call a person like that a man. Whew, that's just too much. That's just too much. What you say, sweet tea? That's just sick. That's just sick. Big homie put it in words that I haven't heard nobody say the words like he said. Big homie be talking. He be talking the straight up truth. He ain't missing no words. He ain't trying to hide words. He just said like it is. Y'all see what I'm saying? He just speaking the truth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What have you, I mean, we obviously spoke near the start of the trial. We're now at the end of the trial, waiting for the final arguments. Some interesting things. I mean, just before we came on air, the prosecutors announced they dropped some of the predicate acts in their case against him, including attempted kidnapping and arson, to simplify, they say, jury instructions. But the central charges remain unchanged, with the government now focused on forced labor and sex trafficking. I've interestingly interviewed a lot of people, some of them with direct involvement here. For example, the male prostitute, Sheree Hayes, known as the Punisher. He was fascinating in that interview because it's certainly from his testimony, both in court and then to me. Let's take a look at a little clip of this. At the center of this, it seems to me, is going to be the issue of consent, as to whether she was consenting to all this as a willing participant in this. What is your view? I mean, do you believe this was all consensual? Or do you think that, as the prosecution want the jury to believe, this was all coercion, control, and criminal?
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm only privy to the circumstances that I was a part of. And as similar to I testified to, I didn't get any cues, didn't have any thing that would lead me to believe in the moment that she was under any duress or any forced scenario. It was presented to me that this was something that she wanted to create for her husband. You know, for the majority of the time I interacted with them, I believe they were a married couple. And I believed, based on me following them on Instagram and whatever interactions that I've seen, although minimally, it seemed like a normal situation. I didn't get any cues to it being a distressful environment.
What was interesting about that, in the cross-examination of...
To me, that's a lie. I think he just lying so he can get his 15 minutes of fame. And he know what's going to happen to him. But I think he was staying face for Diddy, for the Diddler. I really do think so. Because he's been on everybody. He's been interviewed by everybody. He hasn't been interviewed by me. He needs to come on, let me interview. Big, what's his name? Big Punisher, the Punisher. You need to come and let me interview you, because I'm not gonna when I hear you saying a lie, I ain't gonna tell you it's a lie, but I'm gonna let you know I don't believe that one. Okay? I don't believe that one. So let's come up with another one. Yeah, guys. When Diddy is walking around stroking his hot dog, walking into the room with a Muslim veil on his head, butt naked, and then he telling you what to do and how to do it and what she needs to do and all this sort of stuff. And she can't make she ain't telling you nothing. She just, here. You should have known something was up. You just was there for the money. You just stuck your head in the sand and was there for the money. Yeah, that's big homie, all right.
Cassie Ventura. Text messages came out that certainly suggested she was a willing participant. One message from 2012, she wrote to Combs, besides making love, talking to you is my favorite thing. 5 years later, she told him in a series of messages she missed him. She asked him to send a picture of his genitalia. She pledged to be, quotes, your little freak. You know, how significant do you think all that is going to be in terms of creating a picture to a jury, perhaps, that this was consensual? It may not be what people like. It might be, as you said, actually pretty disgusting in parts, but that's just a moral verdict. It's not a criminal one. Enough about 9 to 5. What about the most important bit, the 5 to 9? It should be the most comfortable part of your day, and today's sponsor can help. Cozy Earth's bamboo sheets are temperature regulating and designed.
But I do think that he knows, the Punisher knows. He just trying to not say anything because I think he's afraid, for one. He's trying to stay face with Diddy, and not just stay face with Diddy. He just scared out of his wits, and he came there for the money, and he figured if he do too much talking, remember, they tend to work for an agency, and the agency probably already told him, you got to stay face with Diddy because we make a lot of money from Diddy.
I always feel like, you know, as a man, you should always be a calm, collected leader. And there's a psychological aspect to this that people are overlooking. I think it's crass. I feel like it's asinine. I think it's an egregious situation simply because this is a situation that I would call a trauma bond. And in the work that I do, last year we brought home 17 missing women, 4 children, three girls, 1 little boy. And always the nature of the relationship between the trafficker and the trafficked is indeed a trauma bond. So
trauma bond, yes.
They might not feel like what they're doing is a process of being oppressed, but to them, they are in love with their oppressor, so they're willing to do anything to appease them because they look up to them and respect them. Because when you look at a lot of situations where child molestation takes place, it's usually by somebody very close, and there's a relationship between them that I've seen between street pimps and sex workers, streetwalkers. I feel like people aren't taking into consideration that when people are in love, especially when a lady is in love with a guy, he's powerful, he's wealthy, you know.
And violent. We saw from the video, the infamous video of him beating Cassie up in the hotel corridor.
Absolutely.
Any man that's prepared to do that to a woman in a hotel corridor where you must know there are cameras.
Yes.
Anyone prepared to do that with such impunity and so violently.
Yes.
Yeah, this is why, although all her messaging looks consensual, although what the Punisher told me appeared to be consensual, in the back of my mind, and it must be in the back of, I know, it's sort of crazy, although actually I've got to say he's a likable guy.
Yeah, and so this wasn't even his...
He didn't even know it was Diddy the whole time, right?
And that's the thing, and this wasn't even his profession. He was a male
He's a dancer,
Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? He coerced him into the...
Wait now, that is true. That was not the Punisher profession. That's not what he went there for. They do dancing and everything else, like bachelor and stuff like that, and strip and stuff. That is not to go in there and be a porn star. Nobody said he was a porn star, but that's exactly what he was doing. And then a porn star to his name because Diddy was controlling it. He was telling you how to do it and how to pull in and how to pull out and bang it this way and turn this way and jack your butt up this way so I can get a good view. Think about it. So the Punisher, I knew the Punisher was doing nothing but lying. And Punisher, if you wasn't lying, you'd come up, you'd contact me and say, let me correct you, the housewife, because this is nothing but a lie. Sure, you're getting your 15 minutes of fame. I'm not going to stop your 15 minutes of fame. Okay? You can go ahead and have it. But any man can see that. And the Punisher still don't feel sorry. After all this stuff, you know. Punisher. Diddy can't do ish for you no more. His butt is locked up. And I know you don't want to lose your job at the agency where you work at it. And I know you're trying to make your own business and you writing a book, but still, you got to be a man in this situation. Diddy ain't there no more telling you what to do and how to do it. Be a man in this situation. Cassie was trauma bonding with her abuser and her pimp. When I say pimp, he wasn't doing nothing but pimping them all out. A pimp is nice to you for just a little while so he can get you under control, keep you in compliance. And then he's going to start making you hitting the drugs. So that way he got you, because you ain't going to go too far because you need your drugs. And then he's going to be the first one to sex you first, because they call that breaking you in. Because they got to know what their merchandise feel like. Cassie was too good for that. She's a beautiful young woman. Wonderful young woman. But at the time, she was a kid. She wasn't nothing but straight up a kid, being influenced and molded by a pimp. She was coerced by Diddy, all of that. And that's what they do. They say things that what they abuser or pimp like to hear. Call him daddy. And I like this, daddy. Will you do this? I know you want me to do that. Yes, daddy, I'll do anything you want. They ain't loving nothing about it, but they know that's how to keep themselves safe. Give me a break, somebody. Hi, Susie Q. Hello, Pinkie in the White House. Thank you for coming in. I love my emojis. Girl, you got lit up in here. Ooh, Lord. Thank you, Susie Q, for coming in. Look at it. We got Big Homie up here today. Big Homie ain't holding nothing back. Big Homie said, Diddy walks, I'm not target number one. Big Homie, he had already moved out of the States because he ain't being nobody's target.
This is something, so we call him a zest monster. He coerced this person into this. And, had he compensated this young lady properly for the services she provided for him, this never happened. He made a $30 million payment to her. Innocence doesn't cost that much. And I feel like it's a telltale sign.
That's a very interesting comment.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost that much.
Yeah,
I agree.
exactly right.
I also interviewed Diddy's former friend, Ray J, who had done a bit of an about turn about him. Let's take a look at that. What is your view of how this case is going?
I think it's kind of becoming a circus, and with all the allegations, and now with everybody explaining like what's happening in the bedroom. I mean, every day it just sounds crazier and crazier.
Let me excuse myself for a moment. Ray J can't say nothing. I'm through with Ray J. Ray J is just a clown himself. He did groom her. She was 19 years old when he met her. And Diddy said, I told Capricorn that Cassie is something he can mold. She's moldable, that he can mold into what he wanted her to be. And that's exactly what he did. And Ray J was all for Diddy at first. Now he's switching sides. Ray J jumps on whatever. He'll switch sides in a minute. So you can't believe nothing Ray J said. 1 minute, he's on Diddy's side. Then the next minute, he's fighting with his sons and condemning Diddy. Now you never know. So I don't know what side he's on right now. Because this interview is from yesterday. So it may be a different side today. Ray J is a freak also. Yes, he is. He's a nasty boy.
And freakier and weirder, right? And I'm like trying to understand, with all this being said, like with Kid Cudi going on and saying everything that happened, but then ended up saying Cassie played both of us. you know, it's like, where are we trying to go? Are we just trying to like tell all of these crazy stories and then that equals out to sex trafficking? I mean, it's starting to become outrageous. It's a RICO case. It's really only Diddy and maybe one other person. Like, I'm just starting to feel uncomfortable and I'm starting to feel weird about this whole thing.
What do you feel about
Ooh, what the? Did he say he started feeling uncomfortable as much as he put his wife through? Princess loved him. He had a beautiful wife, a faithful wife, and he put her through all kind of crap, sleeping with every Dick, Tom, and Harry. Who did I say? Dick, Tom, and Harry? Those are men. Didn't I just say that? Well, sleeping with Mary Jane and Jack and Jill. Put it like that then. Thank God for renewing us with grace and mercy. Ooh, thank you. Oh, Lord. Ray J makes me want to, y'all know I can't do it, but that's all I can say. I can't say it, but that's how I feel. Demons will receive their due as Diddy serves Lucifer. Thank God for that. Crazier and crazier, freakier and weirder. Ray J describes all of them, including himself. Thank you. I'm glad you said that, BT. He is describing himself because Ray J was doing, oh Lord. Ray J was just trying to get in the bed with a young man. Begging to be in the bed with a young man just a couple weeks or about a month ago and got turned down. Yeah, Ray J ain't got no more soul. He bent over for the Diddler. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And I do believe that because I ain't gonna, yes. Ooh, Lord. Ray J ain't nobody to talk about nothing.
Okay.
Do you know Ray J?
This guy, I seen him, Diddy, and F. Gary Gray in Vegas together on some very strange timing, I should say. And
What do you mean?
Oh, he didn't talk. What he said, he seen Ray J, the Diddler, and somebody else in Vegas. Ooh, Lord, tell it, homie. Tell it. Don't let it go. Tell it. Ooh, Lord. Ooh, Lord. I tell you, didn't I tell y'all this interview? I've been wanting to see it. And y'all, remember I told y'all gonna want to see this?
that guy is privy to a lot of things that take place at those events because he was there for a lot of them.
Really?
Absolutely. You know,
You saw him?
I've seen Ray J. And I feel like,
Come on, Big Homie. Big Homie don't want to tell how he's seen Ray J. He just letting us know Ray J has been seen with the Diddler. And some weird stuff. Come on, Big Homie. Big Homie. Oh, Lord. Y'all better read those lines. Y'all better read them tea leaves. He said, I seen Ray J. And I feel like, you know, come on now. Y'all know what he want to say. Come on, come on.
it's kind of aggravating, like watching people try to make it seem as if Cassie is the problem in the situation when the person that's on trial attempted to pay her for her silence. Furthermore, in the onset of this case, in its inception, Diddy was coming under fire for trying to tamper with witnesses while he was arrested. There are several people who were initially named to be witnesses. They just magically disappeared because, you know, News Nation had reached out to me to do an interview about this. And, you know, I turned it down because I told them, look, you know, I'm putting myself at risk here. You know, you're going to have to offer me some type of compensation. They go with Ray J instead of me. When I told them previously that he was there. So it's kind of like, okay, well, it's almost as if it's a conspiracy going on. Because where is the gentleman who provided feds with some of the tapes from these parties who was supposed to be a witness? He's not involved. If you look at the case with Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion, when the bodyguard went AWOL, there was no warrant for his arrest. In the Diddy case, there's no warrant, no contempt for that person. But let's look at the Nipsey Hussle situation. When some of the witnesses that were there that were actually shot with him, they got warrants for their arrest when they didn't show up for court. Why is it not in this situation?
I also interviewed Suge Knight from his prison. He claimed that Ray J and Diddy were lovers.
Absolutely.
That's true.
Yes.
Reality show. It's been years back. They was on this reality show about trying to fix their marriage with some other couples, right? And it brought up that Ray J like having XCX a certain particular way all the time. And when that came into my mind, all I could think of was Diddy, the Dippler. I don't know why, but I said the Dippler in my head. And while I was watching the show, and I said, he likes men. Yes, I did. And I've never forgotten it. And every time I look at him, and it always pops up in my head. What did Big Homie just say? Let's go back just a second. Okay.
What's going on? Because where is the gentleman who provided feds with some of the tapes from these parties who was supposed to be a witness? He's not involved. If you look at the case with Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion,
that's a little too far. Wait. Here it is.
In Vegas together on some very strange timing, I should say. And
what do you mean?
That guy is privy to a lot of things that take place at those events because he was there for a lot of them.
Really?
Absolutely. You
saw him.
I've seen Ray J. And I feel like, it's kind of aggravating, like watching people try to make it seem as if Cassie is the problem in the situation when the person that's on trial attempted to pay her for her silence. Furthermore, in the onset of this case, in its inception, Diddy was coming under fire for trying to tamper with witnesses while he was arrested. There are several people who were initially named to be witnesses. They just magically disappeared because, News Nation had reached out to me to do an interview about this. And, I turned it down because I told them, look, I'm putting myself at risk here. You're going to have to offer me some type of compensation. They go with Ray J instead of me. When I told them previously that he was there. So it's kind of like, okay, well, it's almost as if it's a conspiracy going on. Because where is the gentleman who provided feds with some of the tapes from these parties who was supposed to be a witness? He's not involved. If you look at the case with Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion, when the bodyguard went AWOL, there was no warrant for his arrest. In the Diddy case, there's no warrant, no contempt for that person. But let's look at the Nipsey Hussle situation. When some of the witnesses that were there that were actually shot with him, they got warrants for their arrest when they didn't show up for court. Why is it not in this situation?
I also interviewed Suge Knight from his prison. He claimed that Ray J and Diddy were lovers.
Absolutely.
That's true?
Yes.
You know that for a fact?
Yeah, all of these guys. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Piers, you don't want to be the only straight male at a...
They was lovers. That's what they just said on this. That's what they just said. They just said it. We just heard what they just said. Did y'all hear that? Yes or no? Did y'all just hear that? Or was it just me? Did y'all hear that too? I knew something was wrong when I saw that reality show that time. I knew something was wrong. I just knew. I was like, Pinkie ain't crazy. Pinkie knows what she heard. Yeah. You heard it too, right, Sweet Tea? Sweet Tea said, yes, she heard. Lord. It's the thing that we have thought. You know how you be thinking something? You know what I mean? But you're afraid to put it out there because of the Diddler. We didn't say none of it. We listening to them. Didn't say none of it. This is my first time listening to this interview. Because I asked you all, did y'all want to see this? Didn't I ask you all that? And I said in the very beginning, I have not watched it, but I really want to watch it. Didn't I said that at the very beginning? I said I really want to watch this interview. Oh, my. Whew. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. All the things we need to do, we need to pray for all those women and men. I ain't talking about some of them. I'm just talking about a handful of the men. Like I still pray for what's his name? Little Rock. Okay? I still pray for Justin Bieber. Y'all didn't hear me. I ain't praying for no Usher, because Usher is the one that turned Justin Bieber over to the Diddler. Talking about he giving custody for 48 hours. Although he was a victim in the very beginning. He got his butt busted open and ended up in the hospital. But then you're going to turn from that when your mom knows, and then turn another kid over to, I cannot deal with that. I cannot deal with it.
At a party for people who under the rainbow situation, right? You don't want to be that guy, because if someone starts to hit on you in there, now you're the idiot because you're at their situation. How are you upset? What are you here for? So that's why, I would always, if I would get a call from a client and they're going to one of these events, I'm gonna sit in the car. If it comes down to being dangerous, call me. I'll come in. I'm gonna demonstrate immediately.
Do you think Diddy was actually gay?
I think he's a bisexual man.
Right.
Absolutely. All of these rapper dudes, and most of them are, man. Like,
really?
Yeah, I can tell you off camera. I'll give you some. I'll tell you some stuff.
But in this interview I did with Suge Knight, he also pretty much intimated that Diddy was directly involved in killing Tupac and trying to kill him. Obviously, he was in the car as well. But what do you know about that?
The gentleman, Dwayne Keith Davis, who is currently in a Clark County jail because of this, he stated clearly that after the death of Tupac, Diddy called him and said, "Was that us?" Because he was compensating his group to keep him safe as he maneuvered through certain areas. And living in a hip hop life, situations can become tumultuous fast. So you definitely want to have that street element along with a private protection element. And he had that. And FBI confirmed that there was a payment made for the unaliving of the rapper. Said that the payment got intercepted by Eric Von Zip, who was known for doing things like this. $1 million check goes out, he intercepts it. What is Keefy D gonna do? Call the cops? It's not. A lot of activity takes place, and it's people like me who get calls about it, because I became a fixer for people after a while. I have my own company, my own team, and a lot of times people would call me when things are like sticky. And I made it very clear to these people, like, y'all gonna become enemies of mine because of the way y'all treat ladies, the way y'all treat women, the way his sons operate. Yeah, I'll never ever just lay down and die about it. If you stand for something, if you see something, you should say something. And I first started speaking out years ago. People told me I was crazy. They don't say such things anymore.
Right. So just on Diddy and Tupac and Suge Knight, obviously, do you personally believe he was pretty directly involved?
Absolutely.
No doubt.
No doubt about it.
And do you think the whole hip hop world knows that?
Yes. Yeah, in the hip hop world, it's common knowledge. Absolutely.
What does that tell you about the kind of man Diddy is then?
You ever notice that you always see this gentleman in a towel, shirtless, in his underpants all the time? Why you always half naked in the middle of the day? And there's a video of him saying that he's a savage, and he's screaming this, and he's saying that whatever he wants, he's gonna get, and he said it by any means, and this shows that.
Do you think
Right.
he's capable and, in fact, has caused people to be killed
Yes.
multiple times?
I'm not going to infer. I'm not going to invent or make up details. But very few people who have that type of personality that they feel like they can have whatever they want, very few of those people are safe to be around, especially if they're in an inebriated state. You know, he was arrested while under indictment. You know, he was arrested with narcotics, defaced firearms. If you're under federal indictment, you probably don't want to walk around with large amounts of cocaine on you.
Mhm.
What happened to the gentleman who was arrested getting on the private jet with him, who was his mule, who carried the drugs around for him? Where is he?
Yeah.
A lot of people are just magically missing. They're not in this.
Wait, Brandon Paul was in police custody because he got arrested from the airplane, the jet, and all the devices like the phones and everything and the computers, everything that was on that plane, which also was 2 of KK's phones. Everybody's phone got taken, even Diddy's phone, because remember, he was at the airport. Everybody's phone got taken. Yes. Yeah. Brandon got what is it? Immunity. He got an immunity deal. They only get immunity if they agree and promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help them God. Because if they don't, if they try to lie any little bit, any lie would take that away and send but straight to jail. They got a choice, Diddy or your life. Do you want to save his life and put him back on the street, or do you want to take the jail cell for him the way Shine did? And Shine got duped into that because Shine never thought he was going to go to jail because the Pow was taken in there by his girlfriend, then girlfriend, J-Lo, allegedly. And then handed over to the Dippler. And that's how that young woman got shot in the face. I mean, Pow in the face. And then before you knew it, Diddy got everybody to testify and come against Shine, so Shine can get hung up, and they think he did it. Shine didn't do nothing. They ruined his life over Diddy. What if that man had got 40 or 50 years? Do you see what I'm saying? Diddy didn't care. Diddy didn't care nothing. Let me see. Oh, Lord, sweet tea. I've been thinking about that too. Can you imagine all these diseases that they were spreading around? All of them got it. All of them. That's why I forgot his name. He's a rapper. They said he passed away from a heart attack. He didn't. He passed away from AIDS. I forgot his name. He passed away from AIDS. And there's another rapper that passed away from AIDS too. But everybody knew what he passed away from. And then don't forget Ursha. Remember all the women that sued him for giving them herpes? Remember? Why is it one woman said you get, but then some more people came out? If you didn't give them nothing, why did they get the money? Why would they come out and say that? You know they're going to be tested to prove whether they got herpes or not. Once you go to a doctor and get tested, so they're going to know whether that person got herpes or not. So it don't make no sense. You see what I'm saying? So if you got it, you got it. If you ain't, you ain't. So that means he couldn't give you nothing if you ain't got it. innocent wives and lady friends was picking up HIV from these down low brothers. Yeah, they all on the down low. Ooh, I tell you, these diseases spread like wildfire. That's why these women better watch themselves when they sleeping with these rappers. You see what I'm saying? He loved to take his boy toys. He loved to take these young men and boy toys. Let me pull up that last guy who took on a trip. Let me just pull up his picture right quick because I forgot his name. Y'all know his name, but I can't remember. I can't remember. His name is on the tip of my. You know how you remember the name, but you can't say it right now. Let me see. Can I find him? He just went on before Diddy and all this stuff happened on a trip with him, and he laying around getting massages and riding on a horse and everything, and ain't no woman there on that trip but him and Diddy. And people, Cyrus, his name is Cyrus something. Y'all may know who I'm talking about. Cyrus, I think that's his name. Don't let me be wrong here. Let me see, can I find his picture? I got it in my file. Let me see. Oh Lord. Oh, this man also, he said he got herpes from them. Remember him? Jonathan Oddie? He said he got herpes. He caught herpes from them. Y'all remember Jonathan Oddie, right? That's the man that's locked up and been locked up for the longest. And I don't think he's ever going to get out because Diddy ain't worried about him getting out right now because Diddy is facing his own problems right now. So he ain't worried about giving the word to go ahead and let the man have a trial. He ain't worried about that. And y'all remember how Justin Bieber, he don't like being around him. Justin Bieber's get the willies when he's around him. He gets scared. This boy gets scared. It's like, oh no, he really freaks out when Diddy comes up around him. Y'all, I can't even find his picture. But this is the drug mule. The guy that was on the plane. That's Brandon. That's the one. And this is a college student. Well, was because he caught up in this mess now. But he was, before he got caught up in this mess, a college student. And I think he ran track or something. He had a promising career. But dude, you ain't got it now. Y'all just have to excuse me. Here we go. What he said, people are just magically missing. They're not in this. They're missing because I think Diddy got something to do with them missing.
Are not in the indictment. They're not witnesses. And then it's a telltale sign when somebody of his stature, you have no good character witnesses. No one is going to come up there to defend you. None of your peers. I feel like where there's smoke, there's fire. And there's definitely fire.
Remember, I mentioned that earlier. And I have not watched this video. What did I say in the beginning of this live? I said, he ain't got none of his employees to come up and say what good guy he is. He ain't got no friends. Where's all his friends? Didn't I say that? Where's all these? I said, where's Ellen? I said, where are all them people that know him, all of his friends? He ain't got nobody at none of his jobs that he paid or something to say he's a good guy. Remember, I said all that. And he's saying the same thing, and I just have not seen this. I have not seen this interview. But where's all his character witness? Not one. Not one. He got zero. Don't nobody want to, because if they come out, where's Stevie J? Stevie J, when this first happened, Stevie J was playing that violin for him. He was, oh, I never seen my man do anything wrong. Where's Stevie J?
Are going on.
Let me play the clip from Suge Knight because
right.
he also said what he thought was going to happen.
If Puffy got on the stand and told the truth, I know he'll walk. If he got on the stand and say, look, I'm gay and straight. I mess with guys. I mess with women. I do it all. Puffy not guilty for the things he did to these people. He's guilty for being a cold, freaky man that want freaky things done to him. But in the Cassie situation, they could not say he was having sex with the man also, because that'll make him like his orgy. It won't be like sex trafficking. It won't be like forcing stuff to do. But at the end of the day, there's no way Puffy should go to prison for the rest of his life.
Your thoughts about that? Do you know Suge Knight?
I don't know him personally, but we have mutual friends. And I just feel like a lot of people who aren't familiar with the law, if you are paying people to cross state lines for sexual acts, that's illegal. And everybody wants to now victim shame this woman who is obviously in a trauma bond with a guy that she loved. And I feel like along that process, she met other people who started to like, listen, look, this ain't all the way right, but there is an end game. And I feel like she followed that and it paid off for her financially. But, you know, she'll forever have to live with the shame of the details that came out. I mean, you got a guy named the Punisher in here with you and your wife. You're concealing your identity. And then once he ejaculates, the Punisher, she's taking the semen and rubbing it on Diddy's nipples. That's outrageous.
It's outrageous, and I just find it revolting. However, it's not illegal.
What is illegal?
I found that outrageous myself. When I heard that, let me just tell y'all something. When I heard that, that's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy. She take the man stuff after he, you know, she take it. Diddy lays down, supposed to be in another room. She takes it to another room and then just rubs it all over his chest and nipples. What kind of ish is that? There's no way I'm gonna ever say I love this man. That would mess my mind up. And if she ain't messed up by now, another woman messed up by now, just knowing that would mess my mind up. There's no way I could say, Ninja, I love you. I want to be with you. Or let's do this again. I'll be traumatized. I would be so traumatized. I wouldn't know what to say.
Is coercing people into sexual acts and then giving them payment. And then you're paying for them to travel across state lines. That violates interstate commerce. People don't know the law.
Well, I actually I had Suge Knight's former lawyer, Matthew Fletcher, on a few times. And the last time he said this.
Because what you're talking about now is an allegation that this, and I'm going to use its Mandingo stereotype of this crazed black man who's being prosecuted by 5 white women who are saying this man's sexual needs are insatiable and they can have sex for hours and hours and never rest and always ejaculate. That's not true from a pharmacological standpoint. That is absurd. If this was in the 60s or 70s in Mississippi, I think people would be irate. I don't like Sean Combs. That video speaks for itself. The question is, why wasn't he prosecuted for that? The question is, why wasn't he prosecuted for all of these crimes that have allegedly occurred, but we save it all up and we bring it in this case?
What do you think of that?
I feel that, okay, this is crazy because
that's what the drugs were for. That's what all them drugs that he give them. That's what all the alcohol in the baby oil. This here stuff was for, right? That's what all the that jelly stuff. What do you call that? That lubricant that he was using. That's what he got. And got to remember, Most people said they put a little of this on them. And then even if they didn't drink or take anything, they get a little bit on them and they go, just go out. They don't remember nothing.
When you get yourself in a situation like this, I feel like it's cowardice to everyone to start playing the race card. I often see people playing the race card when high level thinking has to take place and when people have to face the fiery line of accountability. I don't think this is a situation of the race card. I feel like I don't think he's being painted as a crazed black man with an unsatisfiable sexual nature. I feel like he's a sexual deviant who thought he was bigger than the program, who felt like, eventually this is all going to go away. He has a history of ripping people off in their contracts. He has a history of not paying people who have provided service, and this is the same thing. At the end of the day, I feel like any man, especially a man of African descent, if you reach a certain level like that, it'll be more conducive for you to empower your circle, empower the people in your environment instead of oppressing them. If you do that, none of this takes place. The whole race card thing, I think it's cowardly. And
if he does walk, Diddy, as a lot of people think he might, I don't know what's going to happen. I think it's a really fascinating case. It literally comes down to whether the jury believes that this was consensual or not. If he does walk, though, would you already fear about reprisals against you just for speaking out? Would you be genuinely concerned about him coming after you? Is that one of the reasons you've left the country?
Well, here's the thing, only thing I fear is God and my mom. And I made a promise to my mom that, I'm not gonna revert to an old lifestyle. And I know if he walks, I'm gonna be target number one, which is fine. I'm used to that. It's kind of exciting for me.
Is that exciting or is that slightly scary?
Oh no, it's definitely exciting, Piers.
Really?
Yeah.
Explain that, because in my world, I wouldn't find that exciting.
Well, we come from different professions.
Yes.
In my profession, it's what we live for.
Well, being someone's number one target.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. History was written by the best group of murderers. No religion, no border, no country exists without violence. In every society, even when humans were in the hunter and gatherers, Stone Age, you always had that group of guys whose sole job was to defend, protect, and if need be, go and burn someone's village. Yeah. So, I would be a part of that group.
The village burners?
Absolutely.
But if you had to defend yourself?
If I had to defend myself, I pray for them, not me.
Wow.
For sure.
Do you think it may come to that? I mean, he might walk, and we're going to find out soon. He could be out next week.
Yeah, he could be out next week.
And he'll then know that you've been out doing these kind of interviews and, talking trash about him as he would see it. Others would think you've been honest.
You ain't talking trash, you talking the truth.
If he's out and loose and dangerous as you think he is, and you're number one target.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and to the hour of our death. Amen. And I'll leave it at that.
What does that mean?
I walk in the light. I believe in my faith. I feel like that's what got me here and this far. And no weapon formed against me shall prosper.
But do you think, knowing him as you do you think he would try and have you killed, if not do it himself?
Yeah, people have tried to kill me before, several times. I'll show you some footage. You want to see?
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah.
Right, see, that's what I'm saying. Like,
so explain this. What are you about to show me?
I'm about to show you a situation where there was a situation where a group of guys gang raped a young lady. Her mother came to me pretty much with her life savings and said she wanted retribution. A guy gets a knock upside his head, and then he puts a $50,000 bounty on my life, and it led to a series of cataclysms. And I was able to come out on top.
And we can see this?
Yeah.
This one here, camera 3.
This shit. Niggas really great.
That was a bloody day.
So this is afterwards?
Yeah, this is. And then I'll show you this. This is when they came to ambush me at the front door. I had to shoot through the door. That's blood on my feet, on the ground. And the guy that's screaming to call 911 is the person who was on the other end of the gunfight. So, I always say this, like, he came to kill me, but when he thought he was gonna die, he's begging for God and his mom and asking people to call 911. So like everybody's tough with girls and stuff like that. But I mean, there's always somebody to oblige you, whether your purpose is negative or positive.
Have you ever killed anyone?
Nope.
Would you tell me if you had?
Nope. Not at all. I never harmed anyone who didn't deserve it.
What do you think is going to happen here with this case? Do you think he's going to walk?
I think he may be found guilty on some lesser charges. He might get 4 or 5 years, something like that. I don't really see him getting a life sentence. A lot of things were sensationalized in the inception of the trial. You see Busby coming out. What happened to the hotline with 2,000 people?
Yeah.
What happened to all of this? I'm aware of a lot of things taking place in back channels, people receiving a lot of payments. And
really?
Yeah, for sure.
To shut them up?
Yeah, definitely. And the judges berating Combs about intimidating witnesses in the courtroom, just shows a level of arrogance. And
what did you make of Justin Bieber releasing a statement saying he was never abused by Diddy?
Oh, yes.
Justin Bieber seems to be a guy under a tremendous amount of pressure right now.
He does.
And I remember meeting him working as a bodyguard for a gentleman by the name of David Strauss. And he would take his nieces and nephews to Bieber concerts. I've been backstage several times. I've met him, and then seeing him now, he's like a shell of himself.
He is. I will say, Justin Bieber to me is a shell of himself. He's not like the young man that we saw. When I see him, it looks like whenever I see a video or anything of him on the news, it's like his eyes, he's gone. When you look at his eyes, he's gone. He's not there. He's just trying to hold on. He's just trying to hold on. And yeah, they freak all day and all night. How can those drugs that he be feeding those people keep them going? And you have to take them. You don't have a choice. But I do pray for Justin Bieber. I really do. Because they messed him up. They messed that young man up. And I'm surprised he's still here. I'm surprised. Yes. Looks like his soul has been snatched, like the body snatchers just snatched from him. You see him now? Oh my God. Anybody, even if you never saw him before ever in your life, and you don't even know who he is, just say you just came down from Mars and you don't know who he is. The first thing when you see him, you'll be wondering, is he from the Living Dead? That movie called The Living Dead? I think that's the name of it. He be walking around and you don't even know whether he's in his head or what. That's just sad.
There is a battle between good and evil taking place. And a lot of these people make agreements. And, when Whitney Houston died, the last person to see her was Ray J.
Oh!
People don't speak about these things.
Oh, yeah.
Why does Bieber seem to be so emotionally unhinged right now?
Guys, I got to do this again. Didn't I tell you all that you are going to want to see this interview? If you even take Piers Morgan out of it, just the things that Big Homie is saying, you have always wondered. You can't tell me that you as a person have never wondered what really happened to Whitney Houston. You as a person have never thought about Bieber and the way he is now after the Diddy, and even after he made that statement that he's not a victim. even if you have thought it. For somebody else to be thinking the same thing, even me, I've been thinking the same thing. Or Diddy and Ray J, or the way Ray J acts. Think about all these people. Even when he talked about some of the other rappers. Y'all, didn't I say y'all want to watch this interview? Oh my Lord. Now it says, why does Bieber seem to be so emotionally unhinged right now? That's the question. We're going to see what he says.
Especially when these topics get brought up, it seems you see the shame and the despair in his face. Just like you just asked me to divulge some information about violence in my history. It's going to be the same thing for Mr. Bieber. You know, if I was to come up here and confess to malice murder, it would be untrue. And when you see these entertainers, you know, they do have a brand they have to protect. And any sign of weakness or partaking in lascivious acts, that could damage their credibility and their fan base. So, you know, I feel like some people's NDAs still haven't expired. You know, I gave certain people video of Combs coming out, collecting everyone's cell phone himself personally. Why do you have to collect everyone's phone if we're gonna have a festive evening? You know, if you're gonna be doing things you're not supposed to do, you're probably gonna take everybody's phone. And you know, when you're promising people a career and their name and lights and all of these things, you're getting sweat equity out of them for just that. Instead of compensating them, people are gonna try to pursue litigation. That's all that's taking place.
Big homie, it's another amazing interview.
Thank you, sir.
You speak very eloquently about a world that I've never inhabited, but I've interviewed a lot of people from it. But they're often quite circumspect about what they reveal. You're unusual. You're very open about it. Is it, in a way, is this because you've left that world now in your head?
Yeah, you know, I don't want to be that person anymore because when I had to pivot my business, and once I see them, like, oh, okay, you know, I need to do something about it. You know, every day I get messages from ladies telling me that they feel safer just knowing that I'm alive. And like, you know, that means a lot to me because, you know, without ladies, there is no life. So I think it should be a learning situation for a lot of people. And I feel like, especially as a Black man, you know, I felt like the level of operations and the thought processes needed to be raised in my community. And I feel like I've been accomplishing that. And I'm happy about it. It's like I got 1,000 more moms and grandmoms. I get people pray for me every day. I'm in the grocery store hugging little ladies. I did what I was supposed to do, and it paid off for me. I'm blessed.
Big homie, great to meet you.
Yes, sir.
In my studio.
Absolutely.
I enjoy our conversation.
Yes, pleasure's mine, sir.
I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
Absolutely.
Piers Morgan Uncensored is proudly.
Now tell me what, I really want to hear what everybody thought of this interview. What did you all think? I want to hear it from you all. What did you all think of that interview? That's like nailing the coffin shut. Take your hammer, nail the coffin shut. I'm gonna nail it shut. Ain't nothing you can do with that. I think we did it, guys. Ain't nothing to do with that. So with that being said, I think with that being said, we done it. Ain't nothing to say after that. We're gonna close this line because ain't nothing to say after that. He have said it all. He have said it all. But I do want to thank you all for coming. He have said it all. I can't say nothing after that. He enclosed it for me. He have spoke and did it. Ain't nothing to say after that. I feel he speaks facts. Thank you, sweet T. He spoke. He didn't speak. He spoke. He spoke the truth. You're right. Ooh. Ain't nothing I can do with that. That was the best interview I've seen in a long time. Because regardless, whether you like Piers Morgan or not, he asked some good questions, but big homie spoke. He spoke, speaks facts. Pinkie, I heard some of the their video this week. I heard some of their video. You did? Pinkie the Housewife, you did your thing. Nice investigation work. Thank you. Thank you. I just wanted y'all to hear that because I've been wanting to watch that video. But I said, I'm going live and we're going to put it on my live. Oh, Lord. I didn't know it was going to be. Okay. Tomorrow, guys, we're gonna come back at this tomorrow because we got until Monday. So tomorrow, y'all be here at the same bad time. It may be a little early. I don't know what time, but be here tomorrow. We're gonna do this thing again tomorrow. Okay? I thank everybody for coming. I thank everybody for coming, and we're gonna keep it under 2 hours at that. I do thank everybody for coming, and we getting ready to do our thing. Thank you, Sweet Tea, Black Titanic. Linda, everybody that was in here, thank you all for coming. Now we're getting ready to do our thing, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Love you guys. Love you. Love you. Love you.
That day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet. Damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not.